It here. Well, I just had a yummy, yummy, and get on in, buckle up. Now, don't believe word. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensie Owl Bob. That's me, your griot here to tell you a story. Uh, you know, I would love it if you were to like, subscribe, and leave a comment after the show. A lot of folks watch this show not live, right? They're all over the world. They're asleep while I'm doing it. Like right now, it's almost 2 p.m. here, and so that means it's like 7 p.m. in Europe-ish, and Asia, it's like the next day. Yeah, it's the World Wide Web. So what do you think? Do you think the World Wide Web's going to last any longer? What do you think is going to happen this year? Are we going to have aliens land from Moa Moa 3, Anyway, so what else can I say? I mean, go back. I have over 3,000 shows up there on Dreamy Dreamland with Sensie Owl Bob. Go tell other people about it. Give it. It's so confusing to me how. I mean, I know how everything works, but sometimes there'll be 4,000 or 5,000 people watch a show. I have no idea why they watch that one and not this one or the other one. And so that's the story. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? The best thing is if you don't get in your own way. Let in every day and every way take the peace of the earth by being in co-collaboration with love's creation, right? So see it, do it, be a doula for Jesus Christ, right? You go read Acts and you see Mark, Luke, all those boys talk about the last days and the 40 days after Jesus rose again. It's all about your relationship with God. Not what church you go to or even what religion you are, right? There's only one God, Allah Akbar or praise Jesus or, whatever you want to call it. There's only one God, right? That's why it's not hard, in the Ten Commandments. Don't have any false gods. The false gods they're talking about is like pagan statue or whatever. No. It's when you are. I remember when I worked for the Desperate Lawyers, and they basically did it to have a lifestyle. These guys were like making millions a year, and yet they were still friggin' living paycheck to paycheck because they were so overextended because their God was money. Their God was stuff. They had 5 big houses. Now, I had a lot of stuff. I had lots of stuff, I had a big castle in Virginia. I had a really great, one of those southern plantation houses. I had it in Florida, right on the Intercoastal in Stewart, South Florida, just above Pompano Beach, right where the bridge is, right where right on the Intercoastal, right where, there's US 1 and then the bridge, and there's 1A, and on the other side of that little strip of sand was the Atlantic Ocean, and I lived on the Intercoastal, but I lived right where there was the opening, and my buddy and I and his wife, we bought this place that was it was in great shape, but nobody lived there because the sewer line went right where that property was. It was a little peninsula, and that line broke. And so all the smell of crap was right there. They'd go and look at it. Ooh, I can't stand it. So it was like a $6,000 plantation house on 5 acres right on the Intercoastal. It had a marina all to itself that you could put a gigantic yacht on because all the rich people came from New York and New England in their big yachts, and they came down the coast and would just pull in there and put their boat there. So it was an amazing thing. We bought it for $48,000. It was like in 1987, like after the savings and loan crash and everybody, it was a big depression, everyone was totally screwed. We had good liquidity. And so I found that spot. I was driving around. Oh, look at this. Went to them and said, hey, let's buy this thing. And they had the cash, and I got a crew together, and we fixed it all up, and we lived in it for a good 7 years. And they had 3 other houses right in Stewart. They had